The sooner you realize that nobody's coming to save you, the sooner, by the way, she's off to do another job or delivery, whatever it is. But I can literally see the stress on her face that I'm doing this again and yet another day, and you're not even able to enjoy any of the money that you're working on or that you've been saving. Why? Because you don't have enough in savings, and later on you end up having to break into the savings anyways for a quote-unquote emergency. So really and truly, who did you work for? What did you work for? If at the end of my day, after paying all bills, I've mostly paid all of it, near enough all of it in taxes, who am I really working for? And then when I sit down and think, okay, cool, before I receive my paycheck, I've been taxed. All right, cool, that's fair enough. We all have to pay tax, right? Cool. And then when I go out to fuel up, I'm getting taxed on the money that I already paid tax on. Okay, something's a bit off, but all right. When I want to eat, I buy things and pay tax on top of that. If the extra tax was purely going to the business owners, all right, fair enough. I might be like, okay, cool, you know what? It makes sense, innit? They provide the business, they're doing all of that, that makes sense. But it's going back to the same government. The same government, if you needed a heart surgery operation, life-saving operation, they will not pay a dime. Okay, if either you have the money or you don't. And if you want to rely on the NHS, which is known for not being the best, then good luck. So if all around me, all of these businesses, it's like, I feel like there's money. I mean, these are ginormous businesses, okay? Amazon is down there, John Lewis, you can see John Lewis right at the back. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Right at the back, right there, it says John Lewis. So clearly there's money to be made, and the people who live the most comfortable in this life are business owners, because that's what I'm seeing, and that's what my brain is telling me. Davies Turner, another like big business and whatnot. You see London, Bristol, Manchester, all of that. You see that? It might be backwards on camera, but you get the gist. If the only way, goodness me, what happened here? There's, hey guys, live and direct. Seems like quite a crash took place here. Exploded wheel. But yeah, let's keep it. So wait, so that means somebody must have run this over or reversed into it, because there's like debris and all of that there. But anyways, there could be somebody sleeping inside. I don't want to freak them out. Think, oh my god, hello boss, he's trying to destroy the company. No. And that's the other thing that gets me as well. Employees that are so loyal and dedicated to their company, like not knowing that they can get rid of you in a heartbeat. You're just a number, you know. It's not that deep or serious. Yeah, the guy's sleeping, because I looked at the back. In the front, he's not there. It's not that serious, as in like, you really do need to prioritize your life. There's a colleague who worked, that was super devoted to the company. He had some chemo that he needed to get done, and they gave him a warning. Whilst he was receiving chemo, that his attendance dropped. It shouldn't happen again. Wait, I'm receiving chemo, my attendance dropped, and you're getting me in trouble because I went to receive chemo for the cancer that I'm not. Fair enough, I'm not saying that the job that I was working at, not me obviously, but the colleague, gave me the cancer. I mean, it could be a major contributing factor. Let's be serious and real. A lot of these jobs are sedentary, right? You just sat there doing nothing all day. But with a job that violated me, and then whilst going to receive chemo, you want to give me warnings and all. That's just one example, all right? By the way, I'm saying all of this, but I'm also going to give you a solution on how to start getting out. The only way is to attempt to escape. And the best kind of rats, because it's a rat race, the best kind of rats, scientifically they've seen, are those that they've never been exposed to a level or no. So they've never reached no. So meaning when you try and drown them, they'll keep on paddling until the very last minute. But those who paddled and then they were saved, so they put a stick down to save them, they end up dying the quickest because they've experienced a level. So meaning if they paddled, if they allowed the rats in that water or in that little bathtub to paddle for 10 minutes and then they put a stick or their hand and they rescue the rats, those rats tend to die quicker than the rats who've never experienced a save, meaning the rats who've never experienced a stop. So after 10 minutes we'll save them or get them out. The rats that have been dipped in there and they've never experienced any of that, they keep on paddling for an hour, 2 hours, 5 near enough, until eventually they give up. But those that have been saved after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes, psychologically in their mind, once that barrier is reached, then they give up. This reminds me of the story of Roger Bannister, who, the 4-minute mile, I believe, where it was known that it was impossible to run a mile in under 4 minutes, I believe. Roger Bannister, Google it. And this guy believed that it was possible, and he gave it his all. Okay, he gave it his best. And to cut the long story short, Roger Bannister was able to run the 4-minute mile, or to do the whole thing in 4 minutes, right? But now, after Roger Bannister, this is where Les Brown even says, what changed? High school kids were able to break the 4-minute barrier, so to run a mile in 4 minutes. What changed? You can clearly see the mindset, the mentality. That is what changed, where it gave people the belief and faith that, wait, if he can do it, I can do it. And sometimes that's all it needs, or that's all you need to experience that, wait, they can do it, I can do it as well. And I'm not going to stop until I achieve what it is that I want to achieve, which is, for you, it could be whatever number. It could be money, it could be health goals. That's one of the reasons we're walking even right now, or it could be whatever. But you need to know in your hearts of hearts that it's possible that me too, I can achieve this as well. Because if not, I'm telling you right now, my friend, you will end up giving up. And because all of it is hard anyways, and I always say do it hard. If it's hard, then do it hard. Because all of it is hard anyways, you'll put yourself in a position where you're not happy. If you eat too much and become fat, you're not going to be happy. That's just the honest truth, right? If you're in the gym trying to lift weights, you're not going to be happy. Nobody's in there like, you know, everybody's in there struggling. It's painful. You're not happy in the moment. But when you do get the results and you start putting on size, that's when you experience the happiness, that it was truly worth it. So it's all painful. It's all a struggle. Choose your struggle. Choose your pain. Choose your struggle. Choose your pain. I'm going to explain to you how I started getting that bit by bit, especially when it comes to the financial side of things, yeah? I said to myself, okay, cool. Since it's not about how much you make, but how much you keep, I need to become a master, an expert on keeping money. And if I need to become an expert or a master at keeping money, I obviously need to become an expert and a master of not spending money. In the spending category, I need to be the guy where, like, I'm in control of my finances and I'm not spending. And the only way to do that is to start tracking, because what you don't track, you can't improve. So how do you expect on improving something if you're not even tracking it? Huh? Like, what is going on? How are you going to improve when you're not tracking? So I started tracking, and all I've done was just open up a quick Excel sheet, and I said, okay, cool, from today onwards, every single month I'm going to track. But I'll give you an app though, all right? I'll tag it in the description box or in the comment section down below. But there's an app that you could also use that will end up helping you out, and this way it will be less of a struggle to track your income, your finances, your money, and all of that. But apart from the app, the Excel sheet, any form of sheet, I don't care, just track. Okay, this is what you write down: the monthly expenses and my income. Okay, whenever you get paid, you write down what your income was for January, April, March, whatever it is, whatever month we're in. And then for the expenses, you write your expenses down. So every single time you go to a grocery, you spend something, you write it down. Whenever you go, let me see what the lighting looks like on this side. Ooh, this is quite dark. All right, I'm calculating for walking back in it so that you guys can clearly see me. But whenever you go to Walmart, you spend something, you write it down. So every single time I make an expense, I write it down, and then by the end of the month, that's when I calculate everything and I give myself like a final add up. Okay, a final add up. Everybody was staring at me in the bus. You have to be different, you have to stand up, man. But yeah, that's when I add up a total of how much I spent, and then I add it. And I'm telling you right now, as simple as that sounds, it has been so helpful, so much so to the point that I've been able to surpass £15,000. Then I went to £20,000. Then I surpassed £25,000. Surpassed £30,000. This is truly amazing. And I kid you not, the peace and comfort that you receive, yeah, from having excess income, or not even excess income, really and truly, excess money, just liquid, right? In investments, obviously, it gives you so much peace that you wouldn't even be able to understand. The peace, the whew, these look at these little fluffs everywhere. These are what starts to make people sneeze. But the level of peace that you end up receiving from being able to be good with your money, I can't lie to you guys, is you can't even compare it. You genuinely can't compare it. That's the reason as to why you need to do this.